The following is a Joel Michalec production.
On November 13th, Felix Unger was asked to remove himself from his place of residence. That request came from his wife. She asked him to leave because he wouldn't listen to the Joel Michalec Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. It's the Joel Michalec Show, and I'm Joel Michalec, and I'm here with my two favorite people.
The lovely Sharen.
And the lovely Molly. Molly's in the studio with us.
Yep.
It is Father's Day weekend, and interestingly enough, the podcast...
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, and happy Father's Day to everyone out there. We are actually recording the podcast on Father's Day. Now, we don't typically work on Sunday because of our religion.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, what?
But this week we are actually we're doing it in the afternoon of Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to everyone out there who are true fathers.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Who are true fathers?
Well, you know,
as opposed to the fake fathers.
Yeah, there you go. See, you understand it.
I
There's
do.
no more
I get it.
No more explanation needed.
I absolutely get it.
So stop by the website at jmtalk.net and listen to the 24/7 stream of constant Joel Michalec Show. Also subscribe to the podcast on your favorite player, such as iHeart. Am I boring you, or is that boring you?
This is
Managing
boring.
the Molly is boring you?
Oh, my God. I just got to keep scratching her.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Poor
Check out the YouTube channel and other offerings that we have there on the website. And also join us on Facebook. Facebook at JM Talk. And Twitter at JM Talk Radio. The different places on social media you can get us. So the first thing I wanted to touch base on today is something that actually is, an entire subject matter of something that just happened not too long ago. We're actually coming home from our early bird dinner.
Okay.
And we're in our community. Oh, wow, Molly. All right, Molly, you're expelled. She has got to go.
Whoa.
Listen, man. Yeah, that was you.
Huh.
She's running from it.
Right.
She just walked outside the studio, turned around, looked back in like, what was that?
Right.
That was you.
Definitely you. I can't breathe.
So we were coming back. We're in our community now where the speed limit's like,
yeah,
I don't know, 15 or something like that.
Yeah, it's 15 miles per hour.
So because you're driving, so we're coming through doing about 80. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I have dyslexia, so I was doing 51.
Yeah. So anyway, we are coming through at the speed limit or less because we have precious cargo in the car. And we're coming down the road, and here comes this SUV, just like does not fly out from another street, is like inching it, like coasting out.
Yeah,
not paying
that was
attention.
Crazy.
Just coasting past the stop sign and out in front of us.
Yeah, and like just kept on going.
And they look at us like we're crazy.
I know. I'm like throwing all kinds of gestures at her because I was driving. So, yeah, I was not very polite.
Right. Well, it's hard to be. But this is like, so the reason I brought that up is, because obviously we know no one in this complex knows how to drive.
Absolutely.
You have to be careful when, like, you walk your dog, you have to be careful that you don't get killed. It's sad the way they race around.
It is.
But aside from that also is I wanted to talk about something that happened a couple of weeks ago. Two Texas men.
Okay,
what's so funny about what happened?
I gotta tell you why I'm laughing.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you have these papers on your desk.
Right.
And you're like,
Well, I have to acquire the paperwork.
But you have to be so noisy.
I mean, like, is that too noisy?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, people.
Is that too...
Oh my goodness. Okay, go.
But the fact that it's becoming a daily struggle with other people on the road.
It really is. People aren't paying attention.
So, and it's not just that.
And they can't use the excuse that they're too poor. They can't. They're so poor they can't pay attention.
Yeah, they can't use that. Well,
No.
And it's not just people that don't pay attention.
But they can't.
It's not just people that don't pay attention. It's also people that just don't think. People who are just stupid. A couple of weeks ago, 2 Texas men tried to jump over an open drawbridge in Louisiana, and they died.
Wow.
Louisiana State Police responded to a single-car crash shortly after 2 a.m. at the Black Bayou Bridge, about 6 miles south of Lake Charles. They said the bridge was closed to traffic to let a boat pass. A witness told police that the passenger got out of the car and was pushed the gate arm up. The man then got back in the car as the driver drove toward the ramp at the end of the bridge. They stopped briefly, reversed, and then accelerated towards an attempt to jump the ramp of the bridge. The car landed in the water and sank to the bottom. The driver of the car was found dead inside the car, and the passenger was found dead in the water outside the car. So, it's just things like this. This is just not using your common sense. I mean, why would you even think
just
that
being
works?
moronic.
Yes, and this story, folks, was actually submitted as a Wombat of the Week, but I think I mentioned in that podcast where the story showed up that I didn't say it on there. We won't, if you submit a story like, yes, this is stupidity. It's stupid people doing stupid, but if it results in death, I typically won't put it into the Wombat of the Week segment.
Why?
Well,
those people are deaf wombats.
Deaf?
Yeah, definitely wombats. They're deaf wombats.
Because I want the wombats to hear that they're wombats, first of all. And this is just, being respectful to the deceased,
So what you're saying is these guys can't hear that
they
they're
can't,
wombats.
So they can't.
So therefore they cannot
they
be
cannot,
wombats.
They do not qualify as one. No, I just I don't think that I would air a wombat story when it resulted in death. But this does go into the books as what are people thinking when they're driving?
They're
not
apparently thinking.
That's the thing. And what concerned me is that they're from Texas.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Because I think Texas people are a little smarter than that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what concerns me. That's what I was thinking the whole time. I just made the stupid alpha face. But, so that's that. And then I have something else that goes with driving that I thought, oh, you'll love this one. You'll love this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so check this out. There's this thing called Road Wave. Road, W-A-Y-V-E. It is a device. It's a highly qualified team that is partnered with a leading manufacturing and fulfillment company. I'm thinking probably Amazon. I'm not sure. And they're trying to drive this product called Road Wave. It would go in the back of your car. There's a Kickstarter. It would go in the back window of your car.
Okay.
And it will come preloaded with like 4 messages, I think. Like, I'm sorry, thank you, things like that. And then I think you can program other messages too. I don't think that's a good idea. A couple reasons. Because what they're saying is...
So what it's doing is actually waving to people.
Basically,
hey, I'm sorry.
let's say you accidentally cut into a lane you didn't realize. You can you can punch up. Sorry, you know what I mean. I don't see this working.
Oh my God!
What are they trying to solve the road rage problem? People get shot in road rage incidents. I don't think a lighted sign in the back of the window, sorry, is going to solve that. I think if you piss somebody off, you piss somebody off.
And that will piss somebody off even more.
Right. And you can't tell me, because we've seen this, you can't tell me that even saying thank you on the light in the back window is liable to set somebody off to be homicidal.
Right?
You know, people just don't care.
Like you.
The people that don't care.
Your driving sucks.
No, my driving is careful. My driving is careful.
You can paint it and put a pretty bow on it any way you want.
So if I'm on a highway, on the highway and I drive 6 miles per hour over the speed limit, how is that sucky driving?
Because you're driving too slow.
Make your case. That's not too slow.
You're driving too slow.
Not too slow. That is not too slow.
Wow, babe, when old ladies walk by you and knock on the window,
6 miles.
knock, 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 knock.
6 miles over the speed limit is
pull
not.
Pull over.
And how many times do you have to have your car detailed to get my nail grinds out of your dashboard when you're driving?
What?
Yeah, there's 5 indentations on the dashboard, right like that.
I don't think so, Scooter. My driving is good.
It's all in perception, isn't it?
Well,
you think your driving's good. I think mine's safe. You don't agree that mine is safe.
No, you're not saying that your driving is good. You're saying your driving is
My
safe.
driving is good because I'm safe. I drive
No.
safe. I drive.
No.
I drive slightly over the speed limit.
No.
Okay, you want to compare speeding tickets?
Yeah.
Red light camera runs?
Yeah. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you got a speeding
Whose
ticket?
name does it come in?
Oh, see, and you know what? That's horrible because you're right. Because of the way you have your van registered, I get all this shit in the mail on me because my name's first. But God forbid, folks, I say it's my van.
That is too funny.
It's only my van when the fines come in. That's it.
Exactly.
That's when it's my van.
And the points go on your license.
Well, I think that you should get one of these for your back window so when I'm behind you, you can punch up, I'm sorry, as you're going through the red lights that I will be charged for.
Oh, no.
I had thought that you just wanted to take Coastal 1 all the time to the campsite for the scenery, but you're avoiding Georgetown because you can't get through Georgetown without getting pulled over.
Oh, that's the truth. Sorry, but it is.
Your laughing was admission to the truth. You didn't have to admit it. You didn't have to. But that's the thing. People don't pay attention, and no pun intended. It drives me crazy.
They really do.
It drives me crazy. I'm frightened. And like today on the way home from dinner, we were talking to our kids about our granddaughter going to be driving in 3 years.
Stop. I said no.
And I know you did, but this is the kind of stuff that worries me.
I said no. What I say goes.
This is the kind of stuff that worries me, not only for us, but...
She's only going to be 13 next year.
I know, but they're already talking about what they're going to reserve the car for her and everything.
What?
Yeah.
Tell them to stop it.
Yeah, I know. It happens, doesn't it? It happens.
Wow.
So, yeah. In fact, I had to work this weekend. You didn't go down to the camper, and I'm kind of glad because...
I didn't, and I wanted to. I really, really wanted to.
Who drives going to the camper and back?
You do.
I do.
And you notice the weekend you don't drive, I don't go.
No, but once or twice you did. Last season you did, and I will never forget. You called me twice. You left here and you called me twice before you got there because I always say, "Give me a call when you get there." It's like 2 hours away.
Right.
You called me. You had Tara with you. You called me twice before you got there. 10 minutes and 20 minutes after you left to report that you were halfway there and 3/4 of the way there. That's the kind of stuff that...
Well, hey. There was no traffic.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. It was oddly quiet on that Friday night going down.
It really.
I'm trying to think of when it was. I think that was after the summer, though. It was like in September, no?
I can't help it. I can't see the road, the speed limit signs.
Yes, you can. Knock it off.
I don't know what the speed limit is.
Well, then pick an average and stick to it then.
Okay, 97.
No. Doesn't work that way. Anyway, so, I mean, be careful, people. I mean, you know, just this week alone, just looking at the Facebook news feed, I follow a breaking news site in Delaware, and it's like twice a day there are major accidents on major arteries. You know, a rollover crash on Friday on this artery, and an hour after we went through Middletown shopping, and we had that rain and that wind move in, and a tractor trailer was lifted by the wind and then smashed on its side, closing down yet another artery.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't. And that's just scary.
Yeah, that is scary. Well, you know, when you're driving in the high winds and you feel it tugging and pulling on your car.
Right, yeah, no, absolutely.
So, all right, well, I guess we're gonna stop and take a break.
Okay.
I think it's about been the time. The clock isn't. We don't have the right clock up. I think that's like a false positive right there. But just in case, I can eat some of it up by reminding people that the website is jmtalk.net, where they can subscribe to the show, and they can also listen to the 24/7 player.
So
Molly listens to it all day.
jmtalk.net.
jmtalk.net.
Not jmtalk.com like I was looking for.
No, you weren't looking for it.
I was. And
well, why don't you just joelmahalik.com? You know that one. I think you know that one. There's your .com.
Yeah, but I forgot.
Anyway, subscribe to the show and other things, and join us at Facebook at JM Talk and Twitter at JM Talk Radio. So we'll be back on the other side of this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Broadcasting from a crummy little studio in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Reality One Radio.
You see why we need your donations?
Welcome back to the Joel Michalec Show. I'm Joel Michalec here with Sharen, the lovely Sharen.
Hey.
The lovely Sharen. And we have a, we're going to dive into this did I just say Juster?
You did.
We're going to.
You did.
No, we're going to dive into this Justin Bieber thing here. So apparently what happened about a week ago, Sunday night, is Justin Bieber had tweeted out, I want to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared and you will never live it down. Who is willing to put out the fight? And then he tags at Dana White, who is the owner of UFC. Now he has since recanted, saying it was a joke, but you went on Twitter...
Yeah.
And said this on Twitter, and nothing goes away. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like...
Exactly. You can't say, on site.
Yeah, which, I mean, he did, and like another poster when he was questioned, but, I mean, I don't understand why he would do that. First of all, Tom Cruise will kick your ass. I don't care how...
Right.
I know he's in his 50s.
But still.
But he's like the top action star of the last decade.
Right.
You know, so he
and
looks good.
And he does his own
He does a lot of
stunts.
his own stunts, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, was Bieber hanging out with like a bunch of his friends, eating pot brownies, watching like a Tom Cruise movie, and he was like, man, I could take him, and all his friends were like, yeah, man, you should take him. Yeah. These brownies are good. You should definitely take Tom Cruise. And then he goes, I don't know what happened to that room.
Wow.
That he tweets this out.
Yeah, he had to have been stoned. Had to have been stoned. There's no way.
And then, of course, the former UFC champion Conor McGregor chimed in and he was showing his support for the challenge. But and what's funny is, so a comedian and actor that I follow on Facebook that I interviewed on my previous show, Dave Coyne, very funny guy. He had also chimed in, and he said that if Tom Cruise doesn't take that fight, he says, I will. So,
hey, a chance to beat Justin Bieber's butt.
Right. So I don't understand what happened there. But if you're curious, they always do this thing when you're watching boxing matches, and it's always like, here's the tail of the tape, and it's a little bit about each of the fighters. So if that were to happen, which it's not going to now because Bieber wimped out, but
he pussed out.
So
that's a new phrase. I just made it up. He pussed out.
So the name of the fight could be, someone said on Twitter, "Cruising for a Bruising." And here's how they stack up. Bieber is age 25 to Tom Cruise is 56. I told you he was in his 50s.
Yeah.
Justin is 5'9" against 5'7" for Tom Cruise. I didn't realize Tom Cruise was that short. That makes Tom Cruise shorter than you.
I know.
Because you're 5'9".
Yeah.
Wow, you could go toe-to-toe with Justin Bieber.
I could.
You could take that fight.
I could.
You will. Tweet it out. Quick.
No. No, I'm not stoned.
Estimated reach for Justin Bieber is 68 inches, and the estimated reach for Tom Cruise would be 65 inches. And not that this matters, but net worth, Bieber $265 million to $570 million for Tom Cruise. So with 2 inches shorter, 2 inches less reach, and twice the age, I would put my money on Tom Cruise.
But yeah.
Because I don't think Justin Bieber can run like an action star can.
He's a puss. He's a
So, just some of the reactions. Dude, I think my 16-year-old daughter might mess Justin Bieber up.
Yeah, right?
I want to challenge him not to fight Justin Bieber. So, anyway, he eventually, later on in the week, he recanted. And, I don't know, I think that would have sold a lot of tickets. I think they could have sold a lot of tickets to watch, and it would have been one of those 90-second fights.
Yeah.
Depending on how fast Bieber can run. People would have
bought it just to see Justin Bieber get his ass beat.
Right, or run, because he would have ran, first of all.
Yeah, because he's a...
and he would have just been running around that octagon. So it would have just been a matter of how far and how long can he run before he got caught, and then beat down.
Right.
So he recanted, but whatever. So there it is. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where you wish you could be a fly on the wall when he made that decision and what the circumstances were surrounding said decision. Excuse me. We just got back from meeting, so it's yeah. Okay, so the other thing that, speaking of the Twitterverse. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is
PETA.
I don't remember. I think it was last year. So in the first season back, not that I don't have seasons anymore, but when I first was going to have seasons, so I would say the first season of this show, I talked about PETA, whatever. They were slamming. Who were they slamming? I wish I could remember this. I talked about them because they went to Twitter and they were slamming and shaming some group of people, and it was really it was ridiculous. I will try to find this out, but they're back again. They're back again attacking fishermen. Wow. Yes, they're attacking fishermen. So what they're saying is...
I kind of agree with them.
You what? Hey, didn't you just buy me a fishing license?
I said I kind of agree with them. That it's cruel. Because you put bait out there and you're like, here, fishy, 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 fishy. And then you snag them in the mouth and you rip the hook out and then send them back.
I got news for you. I worked the hook back out.
And then you send them back and this guy's all blah, 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 like,
what in the hell are you doing?
Now his jaw, his mouth is all like this because we're ripped. He can't talk to his friends.
I can't believe we don't have video of this. Are you eating pot brownies?
I am.
But if his mouth is like that, that helps him not get hooked again because it's flapping all over on the one side.
Yeah, but then when he goes to kiss his wife, he's kissing.
They're not. Believe me, the fish aren't kissing.
You want to bet? I've seen fishies kiss.
All right, so she's kind of against PETA. All right, so this is what they said. They said that fish are sentient individuals who feel pain.
They do.
Invading an animal's natural habitat, harassing them, killing them, and eating them for fun is so cruel. And then they finished the tweet by saying, don't go fishing this summer or ever. But here's the thing. I mean, some people eat them as a necessity. It's a food for them. So you can say when you go to an expensive restaurant like, Red Lobster, that you're eating it for casualness. But you go down to like the Delaware Bay where they have fishing piers and whatnot, and you'll see people, lower income people like sit out there all night long, and they invest in several rods, and they'll put several rods out to catch as much fish as they can. They're providing food for their families, and that's part of the chain of life.
Okay.
People, not me. People eat fish.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, listen,
And how are they going to get the fish if they don't put the lines out there and say, here, fishy, fishy, fishy? They're not the people that I have a problem with.
Who are
the ones
people?
I have a problem with, and I mean, it's kind of good because you're catch and release, but when you rip their lips off...
I am gentle with them, which is why I don't catch any fish.
You're not the... You're not the only one out there fishing. Right. You got the kids that don't know how to fish. And they're like, look, Daddy, look what I got. And he goes, okay, there you go, throw them back. And then the poor little
You're acting like
fish
this juggernaut
back.
holding on to a fish. I'm going to rip you in half now.
And then the little fishy limps back home to his house.
Limps back home through the water. He's limping through the water.
Limping.
You watch too much SpongeBob because that stuff doesn't happen on the floor of the ocean. Okay, they're not drinking glasses of lemonade on the floor of the ocean.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive.
So maybe I have watched a little too much SpongeBob. I'll give you that.
It's okay how you feel. I mean, it's good that you feel that way. But would you tweet out and demand that people stop fishing?
Oh no.
I mean, I'm starting to.
Because I really don't care.
I'm starting to think that they need therapy at the headquarters of PETA.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm a catch and release, and I don't eat fish. I mean, if it came down to where we had to eat seafood, I mean, I would find out where tacos roam, and I would hunt them instead. Because there's no way.
You're so stupid.
What? I'll hunt for my own food. Just tell me where the tacos hang out, and I'll go spear them. I'm sorry.
No, that was funny, baby.
I try. Okay, so anyway, they also put out a video where they asked viewers to try to imagine what their cold-blooded brethren feel by putting themselves in a fish place. So, like what you're saying that we should all put hooks in our mouths and drag them around to stretch our. So what? So we thought like that.
Oh, I wish we had video.
That's what I said. Anglers often try to retrieve hooks by shoving their fingers or even a pair of pliers down a fish's throat. So if the fish is hooked right here, if the fish is hooked right here, PETA is saying that we're shoving pliers all the way down their throat, into their belly, to get this hook out right here. That's what they're saying.
Well, do you?
No. And actually, I'll tell you what, I was always taught...
Actually, that story says Joel Michalec.
No, it doesn't.
You are messing up the fishies.
When I was taught to fish, if a fish does, it's called swallow your hook, you're supposed to, this is how I was taught, cut the line as far in as you can into the mouth and let them go. I mean, that's a humane thing to do. Don't try, it's weird. How do I...
Well, no.
They may or may not survive, but sitting there trying to rip your hook to save a hook by ripping it out of their belly.
Right.
No, you cut the line and you let them go.
Yeah, now that's
And then he may go back to his wife and be like, "I can't kiss you because I have a belly ache." But
no, because then he can go to his fishy lawyer and sue you.
That's
for
true.
leaving some equipment in their belly.
That's true. So so PETA asked, what if you had a hook pierce your face before you suffocated to death? So I think they go a little extreme, first of all.
What? They don't suffocate.
I mean, first of all, I don't agree at all with this attack on anglers, but they do take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
They need therapy. Wow. And lots of it. But anyway, so the video seems to suggest that the capacity to experience psychological terror is a function of sensory nerve endings that fish have receptors for. So, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. And we'll flush that one right down the drain.
Don't you have a flushing a toilet sound?
I don't. The studio in Baltimore has it.
Oh.
I could get it, though, for future shows. And we can be like... That didn't work out right. You know why? Because...
No.
When I had Popeyes for lunch yesterday, and I guess I did not chew a piece of the crust end enough, and so when I swallowed the food that was in my mouth, it went down sideways and fast, and on the way down, it scratched my entire throat.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my entire throat.
You should get a fishy out and then get them to go down and... retrieve,
and maybe a goldfish cracker. That's about it. I'm not sticking a fish down my throat. Didn't you hear me in the last 5 minutes? I don't eat seafood. You know that.
I'm just being stupid. That's all.
So okay. So there's that. Now, Walmart. When we were at Walmart the other night, we got lucky. We got a good checkout person.
Yeah.
But typically what we're seeing a lot more of is they're putting more of these self-help lines in.
Yeah.
And closing down registers. And I told you about a coworker of mine that went on a rant about that.
And it's a rant that I could see your dad going away.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Speaking of Father's Day.
Right, Father's Day, and thinking that there's not here anymore. He had a problem with these Super Saver membership cards.
Yeah.
And he was at an Acme once, and the cashier asked him if he had his loyalty card, and he says, "What's that?" And it's a loyalty card, so you get discounts on some of the products. And he said, "No. And why do I need a loyalty card? If I shop here, I should get the discount just for deciding to come to this establishment."
Right.
So yeah, he would.
So right.
Yeah, he would have a real problem with Walmart today.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then they're doing the curbside pickup. I mean, it's almost like they want you not to come in anymore.
Yeah.
And when you do come in and shop in the store, you have to then become the employee. and make no money to bring your own stuff out. No, seriously.
Wow. And that's what Dad would say.
Yeah. Well,
that's exactly what he would say. I don't work here. I ain't bringing out my stuff.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I didn't sound like him, but yeah.
It was close enough.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I guess you're leaving me.
I am.
After this segment, yeah. Sharon.
Yes.
Sharon's gonna go and tend to the Molly.
Yes.
And when I come back, we have Honor Thy Heroes and another Wombat of the week.
Yay.
Plus one more thing. That's what I'm starting to call it now. You're not usually here for the third segment.
Oh.
Just some snippet I grab and I'm like, oh, one more thing.
Oh, okay.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I should sneak back in the studio.
I thought you listened to the podcast. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Anyway, folks, the website's jmtalk.net. Facebook at JM. No.
We
Facebook
had a silly show today.
We did. We had a good silly show.
Yeah.
Facebook is...
I had fun.
JM Talk. I need to get my papers back up here.
Yeah.
And JM Talk Radio at Twitter.
Right.
So anyway, folks, you stay right there. You're dismissed for the show.
Thank you.
And I'll be back right after this.
I'll see you later.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061, or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Welcome back, folks, to the Joel Michalec Show. I am Joel Michalec, and this is the final stretch of the show. And I welcome you all back here. Don't forget to stop by the website at www.jmtalk.net. That's jmtalk.net. And from there, you can sign up to subscribe to the show. And that way you don't miss an episode. And, of course, remember the 24/7 stream is there. So if you find yourself at any time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, feeling like you miss us, you can just, from any device, internet device, you can just roll up on the website and check out the 24/7 stream of the Joel Michalec Show. So there you have that. Also, join us at Facebook and comment, start a discussion, ask a question, get involved. It is at JM Talk, and Twitter is JM Talk Radio. And so now during this last stretch, got a couple things that are going on here. We have a new Wombat of the week. Of course, then coming up in a little bit, we will honor a new hero or heroes, because we are now honoring everyday heroes. It's not required to be somebody in emergency services or something like that. We are looking for everyday heroes now. And, of course, one more thing. So I feel like in my head I want to spin the wheel of what to pick first, because, it's like I always try to follow an order. It's like, okay, we're going to do... And it used to be this final stretch basically only had two things, Wombat of the Week and Honor Thy Heroes. And then, it's an evolution, right? I think I've been saying that since my very early days in radio. I mean, what we're doing here, this is an evolution. It constantly evolves. It changes. The winds of change. So he added one more thing or one last thing. I'm not even sure. It's, you know what, AKA. It's either one last thing, one more thing, whatever. However it sounds better to you. But anyway, we'll start off with our Wombat of the Week. Now, if you want to get in on the fun of Wombats of the Week, try not to make noise because Sharen said I was making too much noise with the paperwork in here. But you can get in on the fun with us. Just send us an email with a link to a news story of stupid people doing stupid things, because that's, if you're new to the show, that's what the Wombat of the Week is, stupid people doing stupid things. Send it to wombat@joelmichalec.com, or you can send it to joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. You can also submit your stories in a message on the Facebook page at JM Talk. So it's real easy. The easiest way, you don't have to remember anything, is just, if you're already a fan of the web page, or the Facebook page and the web page, then just go over to Facebook and send us a message at Facebook at JM Talk with your news story. And then we'll get right on it. We'll put it into the list. And, if you send it and it's not this week's Wombat of the Week, I mean, these stories get stacked up and saved, and you never know when we will put it out there. Because believe me, there are a lot of Wombats of the Week out there. Absolutely no shortage. So this week, we want to talk about this man who sued a hotel. A young man of English nationality who vacationed in a hotel in Michalec on the Spanish island of Mallorca. That's probably not how you say that, but demanded that the resort where he stayed pay his medical bills following a fraudulent accident in the pool. The man was left with considerable injuries, such as a fractured clavicle and some broken ribs, so he asked the hotel to take care of the hospital expenses for more than 33,000 euros. According to what was published by the newspaper in Mallorca, the lie of the young man was revealed after the heads of the hotel contacted the insurance company to carry out an investigation of the accident that occurred last Monday. In this statement, the youngster said that the injuries had been caused by a fall he suffered when he left the hotel pool. However, the insurance company only had to resort to social networks to discover it was a fraud. In a video of just under 20 seconds, the guest is shown standing at the edge of the balcony railing. As he prepares to take a leap, his friends watch him, one of them with a phone in hand, to get a recording of the daring moment. However, things did not go as expected, since the small tree did not dampen the fall, causing it to hit his back on the ground. So far, the man has not been identified, and it is unknown if the resort managers called the police for a claim from those involved in the fraudulent accident. The events occurred a week after another foreigner lost his life in the same holiday area after falling from a second floor. The deceased in that case, identified as 20-year-old Freddie Prind, who was staying with a group of friends. I saw the video and I'm looking at a still of it. So apparently he mounted a balcony and was trying to jump from a balcony, but got caught up in a tree, which did not break his fall. I guess maybe that's what he was going for. And he wound up on the ground on his back, having injuries, among others, breaking his clavicle. So, this is pure idiocy. And then, of course, he tried to do the big no-no, which is filing a false report, following a false claim. All these silly things that you're not supposed to do. And that's what he did. To me, the moral of the story here is don't be stupid. And if you're going to be stupid, don't put it on the internet. You know, one of the great things about my age, one of the great things about the generation I belong to, is all the stupid stuff we did before there was an internet to record them. You know, that's actually, that's like a rite of passage. That's a really good feeling to have. To not, to know that most of the dumb stuff that you did when in your youth is not out there anywhere. Unless you're silly and you do have it somewhere, and then either you or someone else gets a hold of it and they decide to make clips out of it and put it on the internet. You know, but otherwise, that's a pretty good feeling to know that, you know, because of your age, that means you will not be a wombat. Is what that means. So, for this, we crown this unknown person of English descent the crown of Wombat of the Week. Of course, he may be unnamed, but, you know, as I said, it didn't take them long to just go to social media and find this video. It's like we were saying earlier with the Justin Bieber thing. Social media stuff doesn't go away. You can't put it up there and think, oh, I only shared it with some friends. But what about those friends who might have turned around and shared it? And then, you know, that's what the word viral used to mean. You were sick. And now viral is the word used to describe how widespread things go on the internet. You know, when you were younger, you didn't want to be viral. Oh, I can't be viral. I have to work. I can't be viral. I have to go to school. Now today, everybody wants to be viral. They want to be viral on the internet. I want to be viral. I want my show to be viral. Takes on different meanings. And this wombat got his viral, and now he's going to have more problems on top of his viral. In fact, when he gets done, he's probably going to feel pretty viral after this is all said and done. But there's your Wombat of the Week. So don't forget, get those stories in. So, move that over here. That goes over there. We recycle our paper that the news stories and the discussion topics are on. It all goes into a bin and gets recycled as fire starter for the fireplace every winter. So paper came from, and it goes back to. It's a cycle of life, at least for this paper. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is talk about our heroes this week. As we said at the top of the show, and as you know, Father's Day is today. And so fathers take on many different forms, right? I mean, I'm a father, right? I'm a father, I'm a grandfather. So, and here I am entertaining you guys, or I go to work during the week and I fix your computers and whatever. And then you have fathers who can't be close to their family because they're in the military, or some other type of service that takes them away from home. What about the fathers who are spending Father's Day in the patrol car? What about the fathers who are spending, their Father's Day at the fire station on call? So there's all different fathers in different walks of life. But the one thing they have in common is that they are fathers. And it's Father's Day. So it seemed to me to be that it was a no-brainer that in this case, on this special day, on this special week's podcast, in this special moment, that the heroes that we should be honoring today should be our fathers. And so, that's what you should be doing today. Our heroes we should be honoring are the dads. And remember, you only have one dad. Just like you only have one mother. I probably said something like this at Mother's Day. So don't forget to call your dad and wish him a happy Father's Day, because, I know you can't always pick that phone up. I would love to pick the phone up and call my dad. And I can't do that. There are a lot of people out there who have the opportunity and they don't take it. I'd like to have that one more phone call if I could, and I can't. You don't want to find yourself in that position. So even if you're listening to this podcast later on in the week, If you didn't call your dad, call him. And make sure that you wish him a happy Father's Day. Your fathers give up a lot of stuff to make sure that their children are provided for. You give up time, you give up money, you give up things to do, you give up things that you want to do. Your wants are on hold for the needs of your family. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. So, you need to wish your fathers a happy Father's Day. Just a little thing that you should be doing that shows your appreciation for everything Dad did for you. And there are unsung heroes this week. Not just our everyday heroes, not just our heroes, not just honor thy heroes. There are unsung heroes. That's what they are this week. Just like we hold the mothers up high in May, they're the unsung heroes of that week. So make that call. What do they say? Drop that dime. Whatever it is you got to do. Do it. This week, we're honoring thy heroes, all the fathers. Happy Father's Day to every one of you. If you don't hear it from your children, I'll say it for them. Happy Father's Day. I hope you had a relaxing day. I hope you got something done for you. And I hope some appreciation was shown. Because we here on the Joel Michalec Show appreciate you. So, that was my decision this week for the Honor Thy Heroes. We do Everyday Heroes now. So if you have a story about an everyday hero, you can send it to joelmichalecradio@gmail.com or send it to us in a message across Facebook at JM Talk. And we will be honored to honor these heroes. It's what we do. So there you have it. That's our another weekly segment down. I thought about maybe mixing it up, mixing up the segments, and I feel like I got all this regular stuff in the home stretch. I'm thinking about maybe breaking it up. It doesn't matter as long as I get this stuff to you, right? As long as you're entertained, it doesn't matter what part of the show I have it in. But this next thing I've been calling One Last Thing, or something like that. One more thing, one last thing. I don't know, whatever sounds good. But this is interesting. In fact, I just got my hands on it. It came across my desk, my social desk, a few minutes before we started the podcast tonight. But apparently in Washington State, Comcast got in some mega trouble. Of course, you might have heard about Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson filing suit against Comcast in August of 2016, accusing them of tricking customers into buying a near-worthless protection plan without disclosing its significant limitations. Well, yesterday, or it was, maybe more aptly Friday, I'm not sure, the story date is just this weekend, but so it might have been Friday, Comcast was ordered to refund nearly 50,000 customers and pay a $9.1 million fine when the judge ruled that it did violate Washington State consumer protection law hundreds of thousands of times. So, apparently, they were turning customers into buying a $5 per month plan, ostensibly preventing customers from having to pay each time a Comcast technician was visiting their home to fix problems covered by the plan. But in reality, the plan did not cover the vast majority of wiring problems, according to the lawsuit. And moreover, Washington State attorneys said that Comcast led customers to believe that they needed to buy a service protection plan to get services that were actually covered for free by the company's customer guarantee. In the ruling, King County Superior Court Judge Timothy Bradshaw found that Comcast violated the Consumer Protection Act more than 445,000 times when it charged tens of thousands of Washingtonians for its service protection plan without their consent. Ferguson's announcement said, Each wrongful monthly charge was a separate violation, so there were multiple violations per customer. The Washington State Attorney's Office sought more than $171 million. They originally asked the judge to order Comcast to pay $88 million in restitution to customers and $83 million in fines. Of course, Comcast is getting away with a little more like 5% of that total, and it's not known yet whether they will appeal the decision. They may just take the slap and run, but Comcast, I did notice when I was reading a quick look at some of the documents, they were trying to stop the arbitration by saying, this was the users agreed to it through it. You remember the click wrap stuff, and you're still clicking it today. Anytime you click I agree without reading all that garbage, it's called a click wrap. And so they were trying to fight it, saying, hey, it's in our click wrap, man. They should read it. But the judge threw that out, saying that it's not your customers suing you, it's the state suing you for violating consumer protection laws. So what I would say is, why are more states not doing that? I mean, and I'm sorry, I don't feel all that sorry about Comcast. They're really not a very good service, and they're not really good to their residential customers. So even though like we're customers of Verizon Fios, I think it's a better product overall as far as internet and even the cable. I think they're all monopolizing, and on a future podcast, I'm going to talk to you about a great alternative that is already starting to hit the skies that we should start looking forward to. But even though I have Verizon and we're happy with it, I kind of feel like even Verizon is like checked out. If you look at some of the moves that the company made over the past few months or past year or two, I feel like they're kind of checked out. It's on autopilot. Whatever it is, c'est la vie. Whatever it'll be, it'll be. Comcast puts a lot of their money into the business end, and it seems to me they abandon the customers of the residential value. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just pulling that out and shaking it around like a stick. So I think this is great news for Washingtonians, and I think other states should look into this kind of stuff. I mean, think about it. I mean, that is the highest consumer protection award ruled in fines. That means that, the judicial system is taking a look at consumer protection. And that should put every company on their toes. So that's that. That's one more thing. One last thing. And that brings the show to a crash and halt. Not a crash and halt. I'll still play music for you at the end. I'll remind you to check out jmtalk.net. Every Sunday a new podcast drops, so be sure to subscribe to the show. They're on the website, and if you don't get enough of us, check out the 24/7 stream of all Joel Michalec shows. So I encourage you to do that and check out the other offerings, and visit us on Facebook at JM Talk. I would like it if you would do that. Meanwhile, I'm asking everybody to be good to yourselves. For God's sakes, drive safely out there. Pay attention to the roads. And when you go to the park or the beach, pick up 3 pieces of trash. And be kind to each other. Okay? And we will catch you when the next podcast drops next week. Have a great rest of your week, folks. Good night.